My team was working with a rough sleeper once in Salford about 5, 6 years ago. We stumbled across this guy living in a tent in this wooded area behind a billboard because he wanted to keep out of the way. Didn't want to go to the city centre because it was too dangerous. He was one of these vulnerable individuals who hid away and didn't want people to know he was a rough sleeper because it's dangerous out there. We bumped into him where his tent was. We had a chat with him and we said, let's try to get you accommodation. And he said, Nick, I've been here before. I have people like you coming along all the time over the last 10 years telling me they can help me, and none of them can ever help me. And we took that as a challenge because we hear that as an excuse all the time. And we said, right, tell us your story and we will definitely help you. So he told us this story, no real drug and alcohol issues. And he was almost 55. And we said, fantastic. We can get you some over 55 accommodation. And at that point, there was always vacancies in over 55 accommodation. So we took him to Salford Council. We queued up for hours, we sat down with him, and eventually he was in front of an officer. Asked him some questions, name, got to date of birth. Yeah, date of birth. You're not 55 yet. Yeah, we know that. He's 55 in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks, he'll be 55. Can you take his application now? And if you can't give him something now because he's not 55, which would be stupid, but we know what the council's like, and if that goes against your rules, process his application and we'll come back on his birthday. And the answer was, no, we can't take his application till he's 55. We went, he's living on the streets. Can't you just take his application? Don't give him anything until he's 55, but take his application. The answer was no, doesn't work like that. So we said, well, can we see supervisor? He said, yeah, not a problem. Supervisor manager came out and said, yep, no, he's correct. We will not take this application until he's 55. Come back when he's 55. And we're like, this is astounding. This is not just incompetence. This is now not caring about individuals. We're not asking you to break the rules. We're not asking you to give him something he's not entitled to. He'll wait 3 weeks living on the streets if that's the rules, but not taking his application. So there's nothing we could do. So we took him back to his tent and said, right, we'll call in on you every week for the next 3 weeks. And then the day of your birthday, we'll go back and we'll get this sorted. A week later, we went to visit him, gone. Tent gone, everything gone. And I was like, I don't blame him. We couldn't help him. We couldn't beat the council system of incompetence. It beat us again. It's always beating us. Every now and again we fluke a win against the council. But that was Salford Council, so we put a complaint in to Salford Council, the head of service, and to the head councillor in charge of homelessness. And we said to him, this isn't a complaint, but we want to let you know where you're failing, and this is our experience. And guess what the reply said? What reply? Didn't even get a reply. So a homeless charity raising concerns to Salford Council couldn't even get a reply. And then a year later at Salford University, I was giving a lecture at a conference on homelessness. So I talk about that story, and in the audience is the Mayor of Salford Council, Paul Dennant. And Paul sticks his hand up and goes, you know what, that I don't know anything about that. I'm going to take that away and I'm going to get you an answer for that. Yeah. I've not changed address since. That was 6 years ago. Never heard back off Paul, the Mayor of Salford Council. And to be fair, I didn't expect to, because he knows he runs an incompetent council. And it was incompetent before he turned up. I'm not blaming him per se. I'm just blaming him for never fixing Salford Council.